few minutes, for a few minutes, I'll come from a very vulnerable place, and I know I'll relate with somebody. For the most of my life, I have been vulnerable to fear, insecurity, timidity, low self-esteem, imposter syndrome. Am I in the right place? And I've been in a season in which I've been at war. And I'm beginning to understand certain things that I would like to share with you today. Because most of you have investments of heaven in you that are so great that your life is a shock to heaven and the beings that dwell there. Because when they look at what's invested in you and they look at the life you are living, it's worrying. What is it about a scared Gideon being kept in a place of fear, and yet there's an angel coming from a different realm with a different report, and he's greeting this man who feels that he's the least in his clan, and the clan is the least in the tribe. The tribe is the least in the whole country. But the angel comes to him and says, "Greetings, mighty men." That's why most of you in services, you feel a certain way, because the anointing comes to speak to you at the level that you are spiritually. But then you walk out of church and it doesn't seem to be as real. And then now there's tension. And if I tell you now you're fearfully and wonderfully made, you'll be smiling, you'll feel good. But your mirror, your own mirror, every time you look at it, it has got a statement. It makes to you, reminding you that you are not wonderful, you are just fearfully made. Whose report then shall you believe? And most of us, though we were made by God, I feel like it's as good as thank you. What example can I make? Who has an iPhone 17 Pro Max? Okay, I know somebody, I will not mention their name, who has an S25. Not sure S25 what, but it's a good phone, right? And then the phone died on them. And then when they checked the phone, they realized that there was some sticky stuff within the phone. Lip gloss. Okay. Look at this. So somebody applied their lip gloss to a phone, maybe not intentionally. Maybe it spilled into the phone, right? The person is still walking. They are not affected. The lip gloss is theirs. They are still using it. But the phone is no longer functional because of that person's lip gloss. Now, you have a person you dated who's still okay with the words they said to you, but you're no longer functional because you're defined as someone who spilled their lip gloss on you. And now everyone who gets you has to buy you at a cheap price. Because you've been opened. Because now you are living on spare parts. Am I in the right place? And so God intends to redefine you, because sometimes you think you can't. Look at God asking, who told you that you're naked? Like, who told you? Who told you? Let me just show you that portion. It's not what I'm coming to teach you. I'll talk to you now about something that will change your life if you take it for what it is. I started this conversation on Tuesday. It was very powerful. Don't miss ministry classes. But I want to tone it down a bit today. Let me give you a scenario before you see it. Is this okay? Yes. Adam and Eve eat of a fruit. And their eyes open, not God's eyes. Now, is God blind? Their eyes open and they see that they are naked. Now, God, who can see everything, walks to the garden to look for them. Now, why are you looking for naked people? Is God unaware? God calls, Adam, Adam, where are you? After a while, Adam says, we are hiding here. Why are you hiding? We're hiding because you're naked. Then God says, God is looking at them. He doesn't say, ooh, you're naked. Who told you? Which means God is not seeing the nakedness. You know why the weak should say I'm strong? Because the weak are not weak. They are actually strong. So God is not giving you a speech to counter a mindset you've received about yourself, which is not true. That's why by his stripes we will not be healed. We are in past tense. For you to know that some of the problems you have are an option. You made the choice. Yeah. Oh my God. I need to say this before you sit down, because if I don't say it, it will get into what I want to say. And understand the generation I'm talking to. A lot of you responded much when I talked about Mjolo crisis. Many times that's the most famous revelation in this room, because most of you are having a crisis somehow. But can I ask you a basic question, right? You are bitter because you broke up with a person. Now can I ask you, was it working? Okay. Had you kept that person, what is it that you're going to have that you don't have? Since it wasn't working, you broke up because it wasn't working. But you are bitter because you lost something that was not working. You are forgetting that you grew up at houses where our fathers would have dead cars, dead car parts, but they just couldn't throw them away. You would make toys out of shinjakaf. Even mune sofa awora, rengori ba corner, fridge kitchen mune 3, 2 zakafa. Panongori neka moya yake kuchengeta ma ex. Kaokarerwa nako. So your mindset is wired into you that you can't let go of dead things. It didn't work out, so probably it was deliverance from Pharaoh. But look at the spirit of wishing you were eating onions and garlic. But when you were under Pharaoh, you were complaining, deliver us. God said, I've heard the prayers of my children. They were asking to be delivered from Pharaoh. Now they are out from Pharaoh. They are wishing they were under Pharaoh. A system of keeping your history, attachment with pain. Like, that's why some of you hate it when you get an apology too early, because you love being in pain. You're addicted to, you love sympathy and empathy. I'm sorry. It comes too early. You want to feel it the whole day. You hear. If you want me to stop, sit down. Oh, you don't want me to stop? That's not my assignment today. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. Sit down, let's talk about this. I want to come close to you. I'll take a few minutes, eh? But this will bless your soul, okay? This will bless your soul. I wish it was the word for the day. Have you seen, if someone tells you, make up your squeater, you hear once. If someone says you look beautiful, really? Sure, Eri. When it's negative, you believe it immediately. When it's positive, you want confirmations. Those are wakazvimbiswa nokunzi mbwa yemunhu, but una futi kusekera nekuti wakanzoringirozi. That's not the word for the day. Muskanzo. Ngatite shoko ranhasi. I want to show you something that will, I don't know, I think it will shock you. But then this generation is tricky because you might think you will shock them, and then they are not shocked. Yeah, especially the boys who are still yet to bring surprises for your girls. In this generation, it's difficult. Side surprise. On a 15 Pro, a combine 17 Pro Max. God help me. I'm offending people too early. Some of these offenses need to come later in the message, after they've been seeding a few times. Now no one is seemingly going to be seeding. Vachasida oye. Hallelujah. I'm about to tell you a mystery. And it'll bless you. We are looking at a man called Moses. And you and I can agree that he's one of the most exceptional men that we have known, especially if we're talking about those who are recorded in the Bible or in the books of history. The man has great accomplishments. Besides the spiritual achievements, just leading 3 million people and their cattle and sheep and goats for 40 years in a desert, feeding them from the sky, quenching their thirst from rocks. I spoke about this the other time. I can't get used to it, even though I'm repeating. Moses is exceptional. That guy is mighty. That guy is strong. But then it's interesting that after all those exploits, he asks for something special from God. He says, God, if your presence doesn't go with us, we will not go. So what all these exploits, what realm was that? So the amount of miracles you experience in your life does not mean you've got the presence. You may be content, and yet all you have encountered is the hand of God. Is that making sense? So Moses then asks for the presence. I'll ask you a question. How many of you, just listening to me now, would want to say, I want to ask for your presence? He then said, show me your glory. Glory is manifest presence. Why? God is omnipresent. As we are speaking now, He is here. But that omnipresence sometimes is of no use if you can't encounter it. You want it to be in manifestation. You want to see it. You want to feel it. You want to touch it. There's a confidence that comes with knowing that you've encountered God. He is no longer a story. He is a reality that's tangible. You want that? But then, when you read the Bible without an understanding, you will be, especially Africans, we are very superficial. Okay? So, let me ask you. If I say God is here, look at how pale your faces are. You know He's omnipresent, but there's nothing. Now, here and there, if by God's grace it happens in these services, it might happen today, then I say God is here, and then He touches a few people, then you hear chairs moving and chairs falling. There's something that happens to your face. I've seen your transition. Like, now, is it because you know God is there, or you were moved by someone's reaction to the presence? So you didn't encounter God, you were motivated or inspired. So that's why sometimes we end up having to demonstrate power, because we know that you are weak Christians. You know that signs and wonders are meant for those who don't believe, so that they believe. Sometimes the deeper you are in God, the less the signs. Because if I say God is here, you're just looking at me. But then if I say, God is here, then someone's, ushers, help me. There's a face you have. Is it because you felt Him, or you're just wondering what happened to Him? It's because you're superficial. That is why if I'm speaking right now, you are being delivered, but you will still need me to touch your head and say out, and then if you shake a bit, vibrate, vomit, then you will believe. Why? Because you ate something. You know what you ate, so you won't believe that is out if you didn't see it coming out there, or I didn't say where. We're superficial. Yeah. I always say this, it's still funny for me. I'm not getting used to it. And I'll say it in Shona. Mwewe madzikirira. Angori mapilo kashata. I'm not getting, yes, because biologically I've said it before. Mwara kakuhira sisi, unoza kuti iwewe kana ukazvitsikirira kuhope, se wesine mavatiro ako iwo. Yoti nyangwe mbavha yakapinda umuki. Unozvitsikira zvotinogona kufa. Saka Mwari anogona kuti ashandise hope dzakashata kuti upepuke. Because dzakanaka dzinotokuita worse. Saka iwewe manje, because you're superficial and auchinji pilo. Unotongomuka utoti mwewe china nestara Jesu out uchitodzinga plan ya Mwari yekukuseva iwewe. But now every night zviri kuitika ipilo. Hausi mweya wesvina. Like, can I even go deeper? I told you that a lot of you are no longer struggling with generational spirits and curses, but you're struggling with generational patterns. You are literally imitating your mother, and yet you don't like your mother's end result. I'm just like my dad. Okay, where is your dad now? Where does he stay? So CV ye life ya baba wako ndio yauri kuclaima. Now ukazoita marriage yakaita siya mai wako ucha blame mweya, but iwe wakashasa maso mai wako kuchuza baba wako. Now you are married to your dad, and the person is the behavior of your father, and you have the response of your mother. And you think it's a generational spirit, but it's a pattern, because you're not choosing like Abraham to leave your family. Now it doesn't mean relocating physically, but even spiritually, to decide to move out of a carnal mindset that shaped the generations that raised you. And then being intentional. Wakakura uchiona pamba pachimukwa na 10 maxeni. Hakuna mota kumbaiko. 10 maxeni. Family yose nengeri mumba. Pachitiswa na naro ze breakfast nechi. Now, zvauri kuna matira zviri kuitwa nevanomuka na 5. Kutori ne book notes the 5 a.m. club. Haise munhu wose. Hakuna the 10 a.m. club. Because ivava vanyorerwe mabhuku. Because avaverengi. Paanotomuka zvori ati havana time yekuverenga. Now, iwewe uri kumuka na 12 and you're still praying for a breakthrough, hauna mweya wetsvina. Une tsvina mupfungwa. Am I talking to somebody? Why would you talk down on your boyfriend the way you saw your mother talking down on your dad, and not expect your boyfriend to walk away like your dad walked away from your mother? You were raised by a single mother, and you know how she talks even to you. She doesn't even know how to govern her words. And then there you are, multiplying what she says. Every guy that comes your way. Then you're like, oh, man of God, deliver me from where? So that's why Moses just needs a few days to deliver the children of Israel from Pharaoh. But he needs 40 years to deliver Pharaoh from the children. Pharaoh is dead. But they can live with Pharaoh. Until Moses fails to go to the promised land, frustrated by an internal Pharaoh. Yet the external Pharaoh was easy for him to kill, but the internal Pharaoh is worse. Most of you become your colonizer. You are now a colony of yourself. Is this okay? Am I safe?
We are not safe.
Check your neighbor for me, because I think I'm coming down too much. Yeah. Can I say this? Okay, because I'm a musician, there's a lot of people in the church who have the gift of singing. Can I be honest with you? It's hard for you to be the first singer in your family. You can sing simply because in your genes someone could sing. But they made the decisions you're likely making. That's why we don't know them. And you might die with your voice and no one knows you. It's not because you can't sing. It's because the same fear that was in your mother with that voice. nemaramwiro avaita vakanzi tiimbireyo kuchechi vanzi haiwa no vochuza kusvita munhu weintercession wozowana ndimi dzacho titiso oretete toyanda oriyayaya mutsumwa naivedwe endai kuworship team apo no one zvimavibration orianda eretete so you had the gift but you sat on it. Now you are born in that culture and then you imitate that culture and you're complaining that your doors are closed, and the Bible says no door that God opened can be closed. So it's no longer an issue of open and closed doors. It's about the people who are ready to walk into open doors. Am I helping somebody here? Yeah. So, if you get me, then let me show you. Because Moses said, show me your glory. Do you want to see his glory? Yes. Say, show me your glory. Show me your glory. How many of you believe you would have seen it by the time you leave? Yes. Okay. How many of you will realize that you saw it a long time ago? But the difference between you and Moses came shining, but you are not shining, yet you are seeing exactly what he saw. But because you are superficial, you are not realizing. Sit down, let me help you. Yeah. Because if I say, show me your glory, if I tell you, God is about to show you glory, you're expecting those services where I'm walking around and you're falling, like we saw glory. But every time you fall and stand, I'm not saying please don't stop falling, it's good for the camera also. Because no one will believe there's power in the church if you stop falling. So please keep falling, okay? But even if you don't want, the power is there to make you fall. It is there. But let me ask you something. When you said, God, show me your glory, after I asked you to say it, what are you expecting to see? Like in a service, you come, today I want to see glory. What do you want to see? You're expecting maybe an angel to stand behind the bishop and you just see this glow. I saw stars. There was just this orange color. Today there was glory. That is why the glory you claim to have seen has never changed your life. That's why Africans fall with their bodies and their wallets, but they rise alone. They just rise with their bodies, but their wallets don't rise with them. And yet the people who saw glory would be blessed, even the works of their hands. But we are blessed. Our hands, I don't know, they seem not to be in the service. It doesn't make sense. We start to humiliate the name of God because we are claiming that God is this great, but we don't have results. Why? Because we don't understand what glory is. So, I need to teach it to you. And unfortunately, we grew up thinking this God thing is superficial. So most of you can encounter God and not know that you're looking at him. That's the problem with being given a picture. Do you want to go to heaven and God says you saw me hungry and you didn't give me food? And you're like, I never saw you hungry. Because you're expecting a big light, a big man, a tall man with gray hair who will say, I'm hungry. Who would not give him food? If Jesus stands here literally, who would not worship? So right now, you want to see glory. Let's look at what Moses saw. And we will see if you didn't see it already. You're still asking to see what you see every day. Let's do this. You might think I don't know what I'm saying. Read Exodus 33 verse 15.
Exodus 33 verse 15.
Yeah.
Then he said to him, if your presence does not go with us, do not bring us up from here.
Yeah.
For how then will it be known that your people and I have found grace in your sight, except you go with us?
Now, look at how people don't know that you have found grace in God's sight. I like Moses' prayer. It says, I'm walking with you, but how will people know that what I'm saying is true? Imagine for you, how do people know that you're a Christian? Except that you wear a suit on a Sunday. And these days, because we are now very casual, like look at how you're dressing, most of you. Back in the day, you were not allowed to dress like this in church. Because zvaitoita so winning, because waiti nyange wakadini ukabvisa majini ako nechiwopfeka chisutu wopopa wobata bhaibheri famba so nestep yechechi vanaiza but mazuva ano iwe neshama dzako machina kubhawa machina kuchechi mune matongofanana even masketi paanenge ari apa totozoona nedhora wapinda kuti uri kuenda kupi hapasina akuoneka kuti ari kuenda kupi. This generation, yeah. So though it's good, but it might not be as good with time. Our generation is in trouble because the things we like, now we are learning that it was better to do things the way our fathers used to do them. Because now we don't have an identity. We are very secular. Clubs have not started to sing worship, but we are singing their songs in church. And it's so bad, I'm sorry, but I will not say it. I will just suggest it. Bata and bata I bata apaguze apa iwe drach and bata zotrend bata pa bata, right? Then you can see worship teams ya trenda vanogona kutosvika vongobvisa wedre area votanga kutodza Jesu kuti abate kana misoro yevanhu bata musoro bata. So we are willing to do that to songs. That's how secular we've become. May God help us, right? And yet with the tongues and stuff, you're thinking, what is really changing? So let's look at what Moses saw. So God said to Moses in verse 17, I will do the thing that you've asked me to do. Right? Then he said, let's go.
Verse 18, and he said, please show me your glory. Then he said, I will make all my goodness pass before you.
Now, look at this. So let me illustrate something. Can I have Moses? Can I have Moses? Thank you, Moses. So this is Moses. Now, this is the funny thing. They are even having a conversation about a meeting. Like when God came to Elijah to say, go to a place, I want to talk to you. What are you doing? So the fact that you are prayerful don't brag to people trying to show off. Like especially us in this music sector, there are people who grow arrogant because they prayed 6 hours. Those people are spiritually, they're carnally spiritual. Because they start to look at everyone as if they're stinking because they don't pray. So no matter 30 minutes. But look at Elijah, look at Moses having a conversation with God about meeting God. So I'm now munogona kuita long distance relationship but voice richisvika munzeve. Hamusi makatanga nemafoni. Mwari nana Moses vaitawo nemafoni kusvika vazoita meeting. Kana Moses achindombera kukuonai kuti ndaneta kuti ane pafoni. Iwe uri kundihwisa handu nemukomana wako ari ku-UK. This is difficult, sha unoya rini. So you understand what Moses was saying. So it's not enough to think you're very prayerful. The question is, do you have his presence? To the point that, because when God appears, you will not be able to speak. Actually, the more you're able to speak, it means sat away. Marako yavunza vari Bible, they would fall down prostrate. Apana mashoko anobuda. He is the word. When he appears, what are you saying to the word? Am I doing okay? I need to close. So here's Moses. They're having a conversation. So come to a place. So God is saying, you come to a place near me. If you read the chapter, he says a place near me. It means sometimes you meet me at a place, but it's not near me. But you come to a place near me, and I'll cause my goodness to pass before you. I will proclaim. Let's go. I'll proclaim the name of the Lord before thee. I'll be gracious to whom I'll be gracious. I'll show mercy to whom I'll show mercy. That's what God is saying. So if you look at verse 6 of chapter 34, just put it down. I want you to read 33 and 34. Wow, Gandhi. The Bible says, and God passed by before him. I want that part. God passed by before him. Right? And proclaimed, the Lord God, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth. What does that mean? So, passing by and proclaiming these things is seeing his glory and having his presence. Because I've asked to see your glory, and you said you pass by me and proclaim your name. You didn't say lightning will strike. You didn't say there will be a bright light. And now look at this. When that was done, chapter 34 verse 29, Moses came down from Mount Sinai, now with 2 tablets of the covenant in his hands. He was not aware that his face was radiant because he had spoken with the Lord. And if you read further, verse 30.
Verse 30. When Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, his face was radiant, and they were afraid to come near him.
So basically you see that they are now in a state of worshiping and fearing Moses at the level they would fear God. Ukava iwe ondana nemurume wako akutyiwe, hauna beauty inomumisa kuita zvada kuita, hauna mashoko iwewe. Asi akadana naMwari, okay, just taura mwe musamuswe. It's not for today. It's an invitation for next week. Now look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I'm about to finish. I told you it will shock you. If you are human, if you're not. I will pass before you. But now he says, you can't see my face. Because if you see my face, you'll die. So what will you see? What will you see? So if you read, you see that what God did, he put his hand on Moses' face, right? Then he passed. When he proclaimed what Moses saw. Now, some murukufunga kuti dzana raJehovha ringabva ratonzi raita glory zvotopera zvakadaro munhu otopenya. Yes, in terms of kuti Mwari, but is it really musana? Because dei wanga uri iwo, Isaiah nakati the train of his robe aikona kudescribe bvudzi rake rakadai, aikona kuti musana wake mai we ungati akajima, mashoulders ake ari broad. Zvandakaona ka ndimba yemurume munoiziya. But wait, we are in Exodus, right? Look at this. Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. What? It's not saying in the beginning I created. Okay? So it's not God writing. God said, let there be, and there was, and God saw that it was good. On one day, the serpent spoke to Eve. And then Jesus, the Lord, came in the garden after they had eaten. Adam was hiding behind the what? Someone is writing. And then one day God said to Abraham, leave your family behind and go to the land, I'll show you. And he left with his wife and his nephew. And then one day, they had a child, son. One day, no, a person is writing a history that they had never seen. And the person who's writing is Moses. So when God said, if you want to see my glory, I'll expose you to my story. I don't have time to work this thing out. Sit down, let me show you. Have you seen that? Hey. Because, look at this. I'll proclaim my name. I will be gracious to who I'll be gracious. What does that mean? And Noah found grace. Because I will be gracious to whom? And said, people will destroy me for this. And I put a mark on Cain that no one will touch Cain. Why would you bless a murderer? Because I'll show mercy to whom I'll show mercy. So Moses is seeing the story of the cloud of witnesses. Because when you see other people who related with me in a certain way, you only have to imitate me. So my glory is exposure to my story. So this is a series, I'm not done, okay? Right. Can you make someone read what you wrote? Now, please, can you put your name on top of what you wrote? Right. Make someone read. Okay. It's fine. Did someone read? Okay. All right. Now look at me. Now, let me ask you. I said this will shock you. Moses asked to see glory. And then he was given a story of what happened before. Right? Now, I gave you a story of what happened before and you've written it. Just like Moses, who wrote the story he was given. What just happened here is what happened. And yet Moses is great simply by being exposed to the stories you read every day. But because you are expecting some light, you read the story that Moses read. Wait, Moses just read as God was passing that God created the heavens and the earth. Oh, but the earth was without form. And then God said, okay. And then the second day, they said, oh, so it was 7 days. Okay. And then there was no clouds in chapter 2, verse 1. And then there was no rain, no man were to work the ground. And then God formed man in the ground. Oh, and he's putting it down. He's putting it down. He's putting it down. He's reading it in the spirit. He's seeing it whether in vision, whether it's a scroll that's appearing. Don't forget that there's a king who saw a finger of God writing. Mene, mene, take care of us. So God writes. Even the commandments were handwritten by God. When Moses broke the first stone tablets, God did not speak the commandments. He said, get your own stone tablets and I'll write. So Moses is also reading. So now you have access to the word. Then you read the same stories that Moses read. Because Moses was not in Genesis, but he was exposed to the stories of Genesis. You were not
In Genesis.
even in, and you're exposed to the stories. But because you don't understand the power within those stories, which Hebrews says is the cloud of witnesses, you don't then realize that reading it is becoming it. So you start to read the Bible as if it's a novel. But Moses did not waste the encounter of reading God's history and making it his story. How can you be exposed to a bigger book than the one that Moses was exposed to? Because he saw Genesis. He lived Exodus. He wrote Leviticus. He counted Numbers. That is just a census. He died in Deuteronomy. Was succeeded in Joshua, who ruled and was succeeded by Judges, who was succeeded by Samuel, who was first and second, which is then transferred to King Saul, King David, and of Kings, who have chronicles. And by the time of their banishment, they are taken into captivity, which is narrated by the major prophets in the time of kings. And they are singing songs that are being recorded as psalms. And Solomon as a king is sharing wisdom, being recorded as Ecclesiastes, as Proverbs, as what? Until after praying and being delivered, they come back to rebuild in Ezra and Nehemiah. That's your whole Old Testament. And 400 years of silence come, and then the synoptic gospels are an account of Jesus' walk. And when he leaves the prophets, he leaves the apostolic, who live in the acts of the apostles, while they are writing letters that are called Paul's epistles, and Peter's letters, and John's letters, and James' letters. As you had letters of the prophets in the old, you now have letters of the apostles in the new. And Revelation is a sum up of the past, present, and future eternity. That's the whole Bible that I just gave you there. Now you have that. And yet you still operate as if you are lesser than Moses. Moses doesn't know about Gideon. He doesn't know about David killing Goliath. David does not know about Elijah calling fire from heaven. Elijah does not know about Isaiah seeing God the year King Uzziah died. Isaiah does not know about Ezekiel speaking to dry bones that they may live again. Ezekiel does not know about Matthew, who saw him walking on water. Matthew does not know about Paul, who was going to Damascus, and he saw a light, and God said, so, why do you persecute me? Paul does not know about Gamaliel, who's preaching right now at Praise City. But this dude knows about them all. And yet he's inferior to people who had just. And now Moses is even better because he saw and read about this, the past, for him to write. What about Abraham, who was never given? How did he even hear that God was calling him? So most of you, in your phone, you downloaded your destiny. You have it in a book, you're exposed. But because you are very superficial, you don't realize what Isaiah means in Isaiah 60, verse 1. Arise, shine. Your light has come. Moses just rose and he was shining. There you are. Hey, God bless me with marriage. What do you mean I should bless you with marriage? Arise, shine. Your light has come. Hey, I need a job. What do you mean? Create jobs, dude. Arise, shine. Hey, if God will just give me confidence. And he told you, he has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, authority. He has not given you. He has not given you. It's past tense. He's not going to give you. He has not given you. So when you are fearful, you receive the spirit. But again, you also have a spirit you received. So most of you, it's not that you are not confident. It's just that you are more fearful than you are confident. It's the confidence in you that you suppress, because he gave it to you and he never took it back. And I'm about to close. And your biggest problem, you live other people's lives. The only thing that you own is your fingerprints and your pupil. I'm telling you. Why? Everything you are insecure about is because you saw someone.
That's right.
That looked better. But now, this is the question, baby.
Yes.
When?
Hey.
Why? Because there are trees that dry up in winter to prepare for the next summer. But while the trees are dry in winter, God doesn't want his people hungry in winter. So there are trees that flourish in winter and then they dry in summer. So if you start to adjust yourself to have leaves in a season, you are not supposed to have leaves. You wear yourself down in a season that's not yours, competing with people that are in their season. That is why watopera sex body count yako inema quick when are married that yako ngo aisachashika wanamata denga rodavira. But because uda kukwana pari kwana panozoshika ngo yako washisha kudhara muna acha kukisi wewe akukusheta watu washisha. Boss bvunza wanoita shisha inodhaka. Stand up in the presence of the Lord.